Good evening and welcome to tonight's Dazzle Unlimited. I'm Steve Steinberg and I'm happy you're here with us tonight. You know, the theme of our series basically is imagine. Imagine the possibilities. And most often we like to look at that within the framework of a business-related context, our personal growth-related context. And that fits the parameters of tonight's show. Not too long ago, I had the opportunity to interview a woman who has got the reputation of being one of the leading psychics in the United States. And among other things, aside from her long history in this field, she as well gained the reputation of being America's #1 psychic. You can put that in quotes if you wish, depending upon your point of view. But through her winning against other psychics, the challenges that were posed to her and them on Lifetime TV in a series of programs to explore and find in a contest situation what they labeled America's leading or #1 psychic. She won. And I watched many of those shows and I was just floored by the kind of things that she demonstrated that she was able to do as a psychic. So I had the opportunity to invite Michelle Whitedove to be my special guest when I met with her at a conference recently here in New York City, and that's what tonight's show is all about. We're going to look at not particularly predictions, what will my love life be like, or will I be a financial success, when will I get married, none of that stuff. We're going to look more at Michelle, the individual, what gave her these capabilities, and how she sees that we as individuals might be able to apply our own innate intuitive capabilities in a personal growth sense and perhaps in a business success related sense. So it was a one-camera show on location. The camera work is not great. I'm the guy behind it, but she is fantastic in my opinion. So let's go to that interview right now. Michelle Whitedove. And first, quickly, some of her books. You got more than these two.
Yes, I'm on my 8th book.
Okay, one of these is She Talks with Angels, and a psychic medium's guide to into the spiritual world. Angels are talking. If you listen, maybe you can hear them. A psychic medium relays messages from the heavens. But there's more than that. You are also involved very heavily in being on some major television projects in addition to Dazzle Unlimited.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit more about yourself and your history and what you're doing and how you got into being a medium and all that sort of thing.
Well, I was born naturally gifted as a spiritual medium. At 18, I had a fatal car crash. I was not driving, and I had a near-death experience. And so that, for me, wasn't that I didn't believe, of course, obviously, in heaven or what some people refer to as the spirit world or the other side. There's many ways to put it. But simply put, what I got out of that was, it wasn't my time to go, you must go back, you have a lot of work to do. I said, I know the rules, free will, you must let me pass. And what God did, or what some would call the collective consciousness, Father, Mother, God, or the Great Spirit, is that they showed me my future that I had not fulfilled. And they said, this is something that you agreed to do. This is a contract that you made, that you were going to go down there and spiritually educate humanity in this particular time of need and where we are with the earth and all the earth changes and what's going on with our man-made systems that are not working and things like this. So it's kind of like, pack your bags, you're going on a guilt trip, Michelle. You know, you're going to help all these people. And I said, you must have the wrong person, because, you know, I'm just 18 and I don't know anything, and it's so great here. Why would anyone want to go back? And God is wise, obviously, and, you know, knew if by showing me all of the people that I would touch, and the books that I would write, and the teaching, and the cases that I would work on, and the children that I would counsel. I do a multitude of things. I work as a medical intuitive, not only as a spiritual medium. And so it was this that really got me to turn around and say, okay, that's a lot of lives. Is one person capable of that powerful? And God showed me many examples, not only Jesus as a great messenger and teacher, but even Hitler, and it wasn't as a negative version, to see what one person and how, as they gather people, that what they can do. And so we can create our reality here by the choices that we make that lead to consequences, positive or negative, that affect not only those that are around us, but even people that we're not aware of, you know, that we can have a tremendous impact. So that's what got me to come back, and then that's really what put me on the path that I started doing readings, and then I started doing lectures, and then I started writing. I wrote my first book in 1998, 99. It was published in 2000, and that's She Talks with Angels. And then this was my second book, Angels Are Talking. And then I wrote Ghost Stalker 1, where I toured the United States.
Ghost Stalker.
Yes, Ghost Stalker. That's where I toured the United States, haunted places. And those books I wrote a little bit different. They would educate people about that phenomenon, and why wouldn't spirits cross over into the light, being that it's such a beautiful, wonderful place. And many times with murders or suicides or tragic deaths, they feel that they have unresolved business, so they stay back. But I wanted to really tell their story. So I had so much fun with that I wrote Ghost Stalker 2 when I toured Europe. And then a children's book for the Indigo children that's called My Invisible Friends. Another children's book that's just getting ready to be released. And I'm wrapping up 2 other books. And then I got my own television show and started out local cable. And
there's hope here.
Yes, in Fort Lauderdale, and it was the #1 show. And I moved to PAX and did a show.
PAX Network.
Yes, PAX, and then from there I went to UPN, and then I stopped doing that, and then I've done a series of guest spots on all the networks. And now I just wrapped up a show for Lifetime, and that is called America's Psychic Challenge. Now we're looking at other shows. I'm always happy to do guest spots, but what I'm really looking to do now is do my own show that's nationally syndicated. And I do radio. I've done radio in the United States, Europe, all over the world. I've had my own radio shows.
Are you on radio now, on any syndicated show? Or
I do Sirius, and I teach spiritual development courses at Nova and Fort Lauderdale.
So you help people develop their
I help people
develop,
give them the tools so that they can do what I do, which I believe everyone's intuitive. It's just a matter of tapping into it and working with it. And I really feel that we're lacking that spiritual education, and people are hungry for that information now, and they want it. And somebody needs to go out there and, and I'm not interested in just, I do private readings, but I'm more interested in helping people and getting them to help themselves and giving them the tools. Hence my next 2 books, which is called The Sacred Code, which is the Universal Laws, and the companion book is called The Sacred Code, The Tools. And these are... do